So, your nonprofit or charity or organization has started a fun duel to raise money for their cause, and they asked you to be a team captain. What do you do now?
Your first job is to make sure your team raises as much money as possible for your cause. Your second job is to raise more than those jokers on the other teams. Good news for you, if you succeed at one job, it's a good bet you'll succeed at the other.
Fun Duel has a load of tools to help you raise money. But where do you start? Let's talk about how a fun duel works.
A fun duel is a competition to see who can raise the most money for a cause. Your campaign's page on the Fun Duel website is like a scoreboard that shows how the competition is going, and that has a clock showing how much time is left before the ref blows the whistle and the game comes to an end.
Your campaign page is also the field where the teams play the game. The only way your team is going to raise money for the cause is for you to attract players and to get them on the field. So you have to invite them to come to the campaign page.
That's simple, right? You just email them a link to the page or post the link on your social media accounts and bam! If you build it, they will come.
But will they stay? If your friends and family and the random people you met at last year's Shriners Convention click on your link and come to your campaign, and then find that no one has donated any money, and all the teams are even with a big fat zero up on the scoreboard, why would they stick around to play? What a boring game, right?
So the first thing you want to do as a team captain is get yourself on the board. You're not just your team captain, you're the first player. There are a couple of ways you can immediately get in the game.
You can simply lay down a donation with your team's donate button. It's kind of like how a street artist puts a couple bucks in the hat to show people where to drop their money and to prime their generosity. But that's not the best way to get in the game.
Fun Duel doesn't just ask teams to compete to raise money. We ask players to compete individually by performing a challenge.
We're talking ice bucket challenge type challenges. We ask our players to make a video or take a photo of themselves doing something fun or silly or what have you, and to post a link to it on their social media. They can then ask their friends to come join the challenge and donate as well.
Depending on how your campaign is set up, your organization might have already come up with the challenge, or you might get to invent it yourself. But either way, the first person who should perform the challenge for your team is you, Captain.
When you upload your challenge to your team's section of the Fun Duel campaign page, it will automatically ask you if you want to make a donation through the challenge. Now is the time when you want to prime the hat with some of your own cash. Make that donation and then share your challenge with your friends.
And look at that! Some gameplay is happening on this field. But a team of one isn't much of a team, so let's get some more players on the roster.
If your team is a company, good news for you. You already have a bunch of players on your roster. They are your fellow employees, your executives, your board members, everyone in your company. But you don't want them to act like they're all on injured reserve. You need them to get in the game.
Do everything you can to capture their support, get them excited, and convince them to do their own challenges and make their own donations.
Even if your team is a company, it doesn't have to be limited to just your coworkers. You can build a core of dedicated players by personally contacting close friends and family members to participate in your team's challenge and to donate. Fun Duel recommends you make at least 10 of these personal calls.
So great! You've recruited some players and they're out on the field putting donations up on the scoreboard. What's next? Let's see if we can get some walk-ons.
Throughout your Fun Duel campaign, you need to maintain a very active presence on social media. You need to post frequent updates, messages, pictures, and videos to amp up constant excitement and continually attract more and more players to your team. We recommend 2 updates a week at a minimum, and many more if you're serious about winning.
You're not limited to social media. Build a phone text list of potential players and copy and paste your team's individual link with an invitation to participate and donate.
When people say that they will join your team, keep track of them. Do multiple follow-ups with them to remind them they still need to get in the game. Don't get discouraged. Use the game clock on your Fun Duel campaign page as a tool to remind them that time is running out.
For players who have joined your challenge by adding a photo or video to your team's section of the campaign page, we provide you with a nifty way to keep track of which ones need follow-ups. We call it the hot seat.
Any challenge that has yet to earn a donation is on the hot seat, and we display it to all the world with this little logo. As a team captain, it's your job to help your players perform at their best level. So throughout the campaign, you should check your team's challenge section to see who is still on the hot seat. Personally invite these players to ask their friends and family members to donate through their challenge so they can get off the hot seat.
Sometimes a player will donate to the campaign before they upload a challenge. They then will feel bad that their donation isn't attributed to their own challenge.
That's why we recommend that when you invite players to donate and perform challenges, you suggest that they do the challenge first, and then donate through their own challenge after. Even if they do it in the wrong order though, they can always ask friends and family to come donate through their challenge and avoid a long stint on the dreaded hot seat.
FunDuel makes it easy to share a link straight to their individual challenge page. Ask them to share the link with everyone they know, and to tell all those people about the awesome team they are part of, as well as the great cause that they are raising money for.
Make a note of those that you have contacted and remember to follow up with them in a couple of days and to keep following up until they land that first donation and get off the hot seat.
If you do all these things, you'll be sure to get a lot of players on the field, and they will put a lot of donations up on that scoreboard. You're sure to raise hundreds.
Hundreds?
Hundreds. Is that all we're aiming for? Your cause is bigger than hundreds. How are we going to up our game and score some serious coin?
The answer is corporate sponsors. Create a list of the people you know who own businesses and enlist those business owners to sponsor your team. Set an amount like $5,000, $2,500, or whatever they can afford that you will ask from them. In return, we will post their logo prominently on your team page.
Not only will you add some deep-pocketed superstars to your team, but you will get some help promoting your campaign. The business that donates $5,000 to your team will of course want to publish news of their support to their email list and social media.
One way that we maximize a sponsor's contribution is through matching donations. Instead of just offering a $5,000 donation, the sponsor promises to match the next $5,000 that come in from regular donors. We often set a cutoff time for the matching period to drive up excitement and trigger people's fear of missing out.
If you and the sponsor are persistent in spreading the word, we have found that droves of donors show up and hit that big red donate button before the matching period ends. Not only does your campaign get a jolt of extra publicity, but you double your donations.
And that's not all. Sponsors can do more than just donate money to your campaign and increase awareness. They can provide prizes for the members of your team who perform the best.
For instance, if a donut shop sponsors your team, they can offer a prize of a free donut every week for a year to the player on your team whose challenge earns the team the most money. Suddenly, all your players are incentivized to invite more of their friends to donate through their challenge, and the donut shop gets all that positive publicity. Win-win.
When you land a corporate sponsor, be sure to follow up with them just as much, if not more, as you would with any other player on your team. Ask them to share email updates, photos, videos, social media posts, tweets, and anything else they can think of to drive their employees, customers, and followers to your campaign.
And don't forget to keep publishing updates, forwarding messages from the cause, and cheering on your players yourself. The more excited and involved everyone is, the more your campaign has a chance to explode into virality.
All right, team captain, the ball's in your hands. Get yourself a team, get out on that field, and score some big donations for your cause.
FunDuel on 3. 1, 2, 3. FunDuel!